Yevgeny Prigozhin, a name that echoes through both the world of cuisine and global politics, is a captivating figure whose life story reads like a novel. Prigozhin's journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of Russia's most influential and controversial personalities is a tale of intrigue, ambition, and complexity. On August 23, 2023, a plane crash occurred, and there is an assumption that he lost his life in the crash. The crash's cause is currently under investigation. Was it an accidental incident or a deliberate act of revenge? The truth may remain an enigma. Stay tuned throughout the video to uncover more details about the accident and explore 25 renowned secrets about Yevgeny Prigozhin. Two months prior to the plane crash, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner Group, attempted an unsuccessful uprising against the Kremlin. This has raised various questions regarding his death. The details of how the plane crash occurred and what might be the reasons behind it are subjects that are currently being brought into focus. However, the cause of the plane crash is still not clear. Russian authorities say they are working to investigate the cause of the accident. A search operation is underway at the crash site. Miles O'Brien, a journalist who covers science and space, told CNN after reviewing the video of the plane crashing, it was falling from the sky, spinning very quickly. At that time, smoke was coming out of the crashed plane. So it seems that there was a fire in it. It looked like some parts of the plane were missing. Miles O'Brien said that such a plane should not fall down at such a terrifying speed unless something extraordinary happens. The veteran journalist says that such an accident can happen only if an explosion occurs inside or outside the plane. It is possible that an explosion occurred inside the plane. Or, a missile was fired at it, which hit the plane and caused it to crash. David Saucier, a former security inspector at the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, has also suggested the same possibility. He thinks that the plane had one wing when it was falling. The accident happened just 2 months after Prigozhin's failed uprising against the Russian military leadership. This uprising again made Prigozhin a target. Some experts had earlier speculated that the warlike Prigozhin could die at any moment. In fact, he is now a walking dead man. Even US President Joe Biden said that Putin may be involved in the plane crash. He said, "I don't know what really happened. But I am not surprised at this accident at all." CIA Director Bill Burns and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also made similar comments. Both of them hinted at Putin's long history of revenge, saying that such mysterious deaths have also happened to those who hold different views and criticize Russia. Bill Browder, a staunch critic of Putin, was once the largest foreign investor in Russia. He was expelled from the country for criticizing Putin. He said, "I am surprised that Prigozhin survived for so long even after the failed uprising." Other leaders of the Wagner Group and Prigozhin's allies now have to either run or go into hiding. People gathered in Saint Petersburg to pay their respects to Prigozhin, carrying flowers, candles, and Wagner symbols. In a video, it can be seen that a large number of people gathered outside the Wagner headquarters Wagner PMC with a huge banner. The banner reads, "We are together." Outside the headquarters, many people, including young people, couples, and teenagers, are mourning the death of the Wagner leader. The reverse image is in Ukraine. People in Ukraine say that even though the leader of the Wagner Group has died, there won't be any tears shed here. A Ukrainian soldier wrote a message to Nick Payton-Walsh, the CNN correspondent in charge of Ukraine, saying they are celebrating Prigozhin's death news. He was born on January 1, 1961, in Leningrad, now Saint Petersburg. Prigozhin's early life was far from glamorous. Raised in a working-class family, his father, Viktor Yevgenyevich Prigozhin, was a mining engineer who died when he was 9. His mother, Violetta Karovna Prigozhina, was a hospital nurse. Prigozhin is the only child of his parents. During his childhood years in the Ukrainian city of Zhovti Vody, he lived with Yefim for a number of years and was engaged in labor at an open-pit uranium mine. Samuel Frydmanovich Zarkoy, his stepfather, served as a ski instructor who acquainted Prigozhin with cross-country skiing. With dreams of becoming a professional skier, he completed his education at Leningrad Sports Boarding School No. 62 in 1977. Regrettably, he had to forsake his athletic ambitions due to an injury. Subsequently, he found employment as a fitness instructor at a school for children's sports. He dropped out of school at a young age. He began his criminal career in his teens and was convicted of robbery and assault. He was given a suspended sentence of several years in prison. After serving his sentence working at a chemical plant in Veliky Novgorod, he began to read intensively. He then received training at a vocational school and worked as a lathe operator, tractor driver, and cabinet maker. Prigozhin spent a total of 9 years in detention. After his release, he enrolled in the Leningrad Chemical and Pharmaceutical Institute but did not complete his pharmaceutical degree. After his release from prison in 1990, Prigozhin started a hot dog stand with his mother and stepfather at the Apraksin Dvor open-air market in Leningrad. The business was successful, and he soon branched out into other businesses. From 1991 to 1997, Prigozhin was a major player in the grocery store business in Saint Petersburg. He was a 15% stakeholder and manager of Contrast, the first grocery store chain in the city, which was founded by his former classmate Boris Spector. Prigozhin entered the gambling business when Spector and Grabenko brought him on as CEO of Spectrum CJSC, which founded the first casinos in Saint Petersburg. The trio went on to create many other businesses together throughout the 1990s, including construction, marketing research, and foreign trade. Novaya Gazeta suggests that this may be when Prigozhin met Vladimir Putin for the first time, as Putin was chairman of the supervisory board for casinos and gambling since 1991. In 1995, Prigozhin persuaded Kirill Ziminov, a director at Contrast, to join him in opening his first restaurant, Old Customs House in St. Petersburg. In 1997, they founded a second restaurant, New Island, a floating restaurant that became one of the most fashionable dining spots in the city. Inspired by waterfront restaurants on the Seine in Paris, Prigozhin and Ziminov spent $400,000 to remodel a resting boat on the Vyatka River. In 2000, Prigozhin's company, Concord Catering, was awarded a contract to provide food services to the Kremlin, which made him a close associate of President Vladimir Putin. Prigozhin has also been awarded contracts to provide food services to other government agencies, such as the Russian Ministry of Defense. In 2001, Prigozhin personally served food to Russian President Vladimir Putin and French President Jacques Chirac when they dined at his restaurant, New Island. In 2002, he hosted U.S. President George W. Bush at the same restaurant. In the 2000s, Prigozhin's relationship with Vladimir Putin grew closer. In 2003, he left his business partners and established his own independent catering company, Concord Catering, which received hundreds of millions of dollars in government contracts for feeding school children and government workers. In 2012, Prigozhin's company received a contract worth $1.2 billion to supply meals to the Russian military for 1 year. On December 11, 2019, the company received another 4.1 million rubles for a banquet. Prigozhin is the founder of the Internet Research Agency, IRA, a troll farm that has been accused of interfering in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Some of the profits from his catering contracts are alleged to have been used to fund the IRA. In 2012, Prigozhin moved his family into a Saint Petersburg compound with a basketball court and a helicopter pad. By then, he had already owned a private jet and a 115-foot yacht. He was later linked to several aircraft, including 2 Cessna 182s, as well as Embraer Legacy 600, British Aerospace 125, and Hawker 800 XP jets. The Anti-Corruption Foundation, FBK, accused Prigozhin of corrupt business practices and estimated his illegal wealth to be worth more than 1 billion rubles in 2017. In 2022, he was declared the Corrupt Person of the Year by the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP. Prigozhin has claimed to be the founder of the Wagner Group, a controversial Kremlin-affiliated private military contractor that has been involved in conflicts in Ukraine, Syria, and Libya. Prigozhin is also active in the media and entertainment industry. He owns a number of television channels and production companies. Prigozhin has been accused of corruption, money laundering, and his involvement in the Wagner Group, a private military contractor that has been accused of human rights abuses. He has been sanctioned by the United States and the European Union. Prigozhin is also known as the Chef of the War because of his close ties to the Wagner Group. He is the subject of a documentary film called The Chef of War, which explores his role in these conflicts. Prigozhin is often referred to as Putin's chef. He gained this nickname due to his company, the Concord Catering Group, providing catering services for events attended by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Prigozhin sponsored the 2020 war film Reserve, which was based on the 1991 novel of the same name by Vyacheslav Kondratiev. The novel mentions Prigozhin's grandfather, Yevgeny Ilyich Prigozhin, who was a captain in the Red Army during World War II and fought in the battles of Reserve. He received the Medal for Courage for his service. Yevgeny Prigozhin is a pivotal figure in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, one of the most significant events in recent times. He has been actively involved in leading Russia's forces in the conflict against Ukraine. Their military operations have garnered considerable success. Prigozhin, a seasoned warrior, gained global recognition for his ruthless tactics in warfare and his accomplishments in the Ukraine conflict. During the period of the Ukraine conflict, the sudden emergence of Prigozhin's opposition to Russia's military leadership sparked extensive discussions. Prigozhin's rise against them, as initiated during the ongoing Ukrainian war, gave birth to far-reaching debates. While en route to Moscow, Prigozhin and his allied forces had seized significant strategic military points. This rebellion by Prigozhin posed a massive challenge for Vladimir Putin, who had held power in Russia for 23 years. However, this attempt later resulted in an unsuccessful downfall. Thank you for tuning in. We are dedicated to providing you with quality content. If you enjoy our videos, consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the notification bell. Your comments, likes, and shares are also greatly appreciated.